trauma shows up later is because as we go through the trauma, so I'll give you an example. When we go through the trauma of being molested, men are molested too. Okay. It goes both ways, but let's just say a person is molested. There's 3 reasons I find out with my experience that a client never told anybody. Number 1, it's somebody usually close to the family. Number 2, they're scared nobody's going to believe them. And number 3, when they do tell their parents, the parents say, don't say anything because it's an embarrassment. So that suppression, emotion means energy and motion. That's why it's called emotion. Energy and motion. If there's a suppression of that emotion, now what connects that emotion? What's connected to that? The nervous system of the hips, the nerves that connect the hips to the ovaries, to your lower back, your sacral, right? So it's all connected. So the more you suppress that feeling of expression, you depress it in to that particular, we call it, we don't really call it, but let's just say a memory card of that part of your body. So as we go on with life, you gotta figure out who's your friends in school. You gotta figure out what sport you're gonna play. You're gonna figure out if that boy likes you. You gotta figure out things about yourself as you continue to go. So through 1 to 21 years old, we're going through the ability to learn on how to survive, where to go. All right. From 1 to 8, it's the consciousness of safety, security. You learn about who's your tribe, how to be safe, who's your family, how to eat, how to walk as a human being. From 8 to 14, you go through the sexuality. You learn about, oh, what's this? Okay, it's that time of the month. Or men is like, oh, what's this? And you learn about yourself. From 14 to 21, you go through the solar plex. You go through personal power, self-will. Who am I? What am I going to do in this world? This is when you learn how to say no to things you don't want to do. But a lot of people, you go to high school, you got to learn who you're hanging out with, the first person you're going to date, the sport you're going to go to. And then you have to focus on what college you're going to go to in this time period. And then you got to focus on what career you're going to pick after and what career you start. So it's a lot in 14 to 21 that goes down. And then from 21 to 28, usually people experience their first real heartbreak because that's the consciousness of the heart. And
tick. Yeah.
There you go, right? So then you have to, if as we go through life, we're trying our best to get to the next thing. And then you get that job and then you're making money and then you're sitting down one day and then you got all these self-destructive behavior things going on. And then you have all these bad habits. And then you find a skillful coach or therapist and they make you aware of the trauma that you have is creating these things. The reason why it's showing up now is because you never really had time to really think about it. Not everybody is privileged to sit with a counselor, And when I was with my counselor from 6th to 8th grade, I was playing ball. I zoned out. I forgot what was even taught. I was expressing everything because I was expressing energy, moving the body. The first thing I do with a client that's experiencing like low energy, depression, let's go express. Let's go walk. I can't tell you how many clients I got down the first 30 pounds just by fixing nutrition and doing 3 to 4 walks. I call it a high energy walk. And what that means is when you go on your walk, nobody with negative energy is allowed to go on that walk with you. You're not allowed to walk in a negative neighborhood. I don't care if you got to get in your car, drive 15 minutes, go to the neighborhood you want to live in. Look how I study people. What do they wear? How do they talk? When I was in Westchester, all these people, they had a lot of money. Westchester is very successful people. I studied everything. They wore Lululemon. They wore these shoes called Cloud shoes. They all use an Amex card. They all had a luxury car. Okay. So I studied everything. So guess what? I started investing money in Lululemon. Right. I was going to work with Lululemon on, the Cloud shoes, all of that. Because I want to feel that success. How do I feel that success? Well, before it actually comes physically, you can use your imagination. And as you use your imagination, you rise the vibration of your body, and the universe gives you exactly where your vibe is at. The people, the money, the circumstances, the opportunities. So what I say is we go on that positive walk, positive music, positive podcast. Nobody negative is allowed to walk with you, and you do it in a positive environment. And you visualize the person you're going to become or as you do it. And you do that every day as you lose the weight, if they're on a weight loss program, or as you try to build this second business, or as you get through this heartbreak, right? So we forget about our emotions when it comes down to the point of we're trying to survive.